folks, the Reverend Dr. Holy Joe Rock and Roll coming at you live and unscripted. For those of you who are parents and have young children, I wanted to talk to you about milk, whether children should drink milk. I know you're gonna tell me. When your baby was around 2 years old, you brought him to the pediatrician, and the pediatrician asked you if you're feeding your child milk, and you said yes. And what did they say? They said switch to low-fat milk or 2% milk. And you did it. You followed the doctor's instructions because they said, we don't want your children to get fat or have a like fat, right? Thinking that drinking milk is what makes children fat. And of course you switched to 2% milk or low-fat milk, and what happened? You know what happened? They refused to drink that white milk, that white water, which is what 2% milk is. And folks, what is the difference between 2% milk and whole milk? Whole milk is roughly 4%, 3.4 to 4%. That's whole milk. 2% milk is 2%. So imagine 2% more milk fat makes a huge difference in the taste and the quality of milk. Children will drink milk, whole milk, and 2% milk, I mean, it just tastes like white water. So I've experienced that. I've experienced that as a father, and I can tell you that drinking milk is not going to make your kids fat. I actually have kids that go live on the farm in the summertime, and during school breaks, they drink milk straight out of the cow's udder, straight out, and they don't get fat. And I'll tell you why. Because a lot of people will tell you, especially those who are opposed to drinking milk, they'll tell you things like, humans were not designed to drink milk. That's not true. Obviously, babies are designed to drink mother's milk, and they're born usually with an enzyme, that lactose, which can digest milk. What happens to us in the Western world is that generally, when we reach teenage years or so, we stop drinking milk. We start drinking Coca-Cola and sodas and things that are not really milk-based. And when you go for a period without drinking milk, you can lose that enzyme and become lactose intolerant. So really it's important that you continue to eat some milk products your whole life, and especially for kids, drink milk, and real cheese that's based on milk can help. Of course, ice cream that's real milk based is another way to keep that lactose enzyme active in your body. That's some advice, I think, for parents. I hope you'll listen to me. Probably you have your own comments, your own stories about your children and milk. But, one last thing, anecdotally, you'll hear people saying that a baby cow goes from 100 pounds to 500 pounds in 1 year, and all it does is drink its mother's milk. Well, that's more or less true. But that baby cow is drinking gallons of milk every day, gallons. And for your child to drink 1 or 2 glasses of milk, maybe a glass in the morning with cereal, a glass in the afternoon with lunch, maybe a glass in the evening for dinner, 3 glasses of milk, whole milk, or even milk straight from the cow, is not going to make them fat. In fact, it will make them healthy, strong, and non-lactose intolerant. I'm Holy Joe Rock and Roll. I hope this has been helpful for you. Until next time. Peace out.
Oh, and P.S. for all you milk haters out there, the Bible says that the Hebrews were promised a promised land running full of milk and honey. Milk and honey happen to be the only 2 things that humans can get from the animal kingdom without hurting that animal. So think about that. Taking milk from a cow doesn't hurt the animal, and even God says so. Peace out.